الله لا إله إلا هو له الأسماء الحسنى.
نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. واسألوا من القرية التي كانت حاضرة البحر إذ يعدون في السبت إذ تأتيهم حيتانهم يوم سبت شربا ويوم لا يسبتون لا تأتيهم كذلك نبلوهم بما كانوا يفسقون. وإن قالت أمة منهم لم تعظون قوما إلا مهلكهم أو معذبهم عذابا شديدا قالوا معذرة إلى ربكم ولعلهم يتقون. فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به أنجينا الذين ينهون عن السوء وأخذنا الذين ظلموا بعذاب بئيس بما كانوا يفسقون. فلما أتوا عما نهوا عنه قلنا لهم كونوا قردة خاسئين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب زدني علما رب زدني علما رب زدني علما. رب زدني عملا رب زدني عملا رب زدني عملا. My dear respected elder brothers and sisters, I read a few ayats from Surah Al-Araf, which is indicating to a story, an event, what happened in Bani Israel, the children of Yaqub alayhi salatu wassalam. The conclusion is, Quran says, وَاسْأَلْ مَنِ الْقَرْيَةِ الَّتِي كَانَتْ حَاضِرَةَ الْبَحْرِ إِذْ يَعْدُونَ فِي السَّبْتِ إِذْ تَأْتِيهِمْ حِيتَانُهُمْ يَوْمَ سَبْتِهِمْ شُرًّا وَيَوْمَ لَا يَسْبِتُونَ لَا تَأْتِيهِمْ كَذَلِكَ نَبْلُوهُم بِمَا كَانُوا يَفْسُقُونَ. Bani Israel, the Jews, the order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to them, the hukm to them from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that on Saturday you're not allowed to do any kind of fishing. Quran says, وَاسْأَلْ مَنِ الْقَرْيَةِ الَّتِي كَانَتْ حَاضِرَةَ الْبَحْرِ. It looks like Quran is saying that this qarya, this city and village was on the edge of an ocean. Like an ocean or samundar or sea, al-bahr. With the edge of an ocean. And now looks like Quran is indicated that they used to fish and live on fishing. Whatever fishing they got, they eat that, they sell that, the business is based on that. And so their life was based on fish. You should only understand if you lived in such countries where their living is based on fish. They hunt fish, they do fishing, and they eat fish, they sell fish, and they export and import fish like that. So it looks like these Bani Israel were doing the same. وَسَلَمَ لِلْقَرْيَةِ الَّتِي كَانَتْ حَاضِرَةَ الْبَحْرِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings the picture. So this is the city, Qarya, and this is the ocean. And they went out to fish. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to them that on Saturday you're not allowed to fish. On Saturday they are forbidden on Yom Sabbath. Sabbath means on Saturday you're not allowed to fish. But there was one group of them, they started fishing. So what happened is, they became three groups, they divided in three. One group, they were fishing and they were doing those things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbidden them not to do, meaning they were sinful. There was another group which was not indulged in the sin, in the gунah, in the sin, in the dhamb, but was not stopping these two, was not doing amr bil ma'ruf nahy anil munkar. So The middle group is which is not indulged in the sin, not indulged directly in the sin, but not doing amal bil ma'roof nahi anil munkar, not encouraging others to do good or not forbidding them from evil. The third group is that is doing amal bil ma'roof nahi anil munkar. Telling them not to do this is not allowed. Quran Kareem says that normally in that area there was less fish. But on Saturday what used to happen is, alright, on the day of Saturday there used to be extra fish. Al-insanu harisun fi ma muniya. When insan is forbidden from doing something, alright, he gets more greed for that. If you tell me, for instance, don't eat any sugar, any diabetic people, alright, tell them not to eat sugar, so they will stop eating sugar in tea, alright, but they'll have the jalebi with it. So, al-insanu harisun fi ma muniya. Whenever you stop from you go more to that. Yeah, that's the mentality. So the Yahud was not allowed to do fishing on Saturday, but from qudrat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on that day they used to be extra fish. So what they done is, alright, they made a small kind of pond, and on Saturday they used to open a way apart from it and let all the fish come, and Sunday take the fish up, catch the fish. So they didn't hear it. Still, one of the groups said, the Muballighin Hazrat said to them, the ulama said, no, don't do it, this is haram. So the other group said to them, وَإِذْ قَالَتْ أُمَّةٌ مِّنْهُمْ لِمَ تَعِدُونَ قَوْمًا إِلَّا مُهْلِكُمْ عَذَابًا شَدِيدًا قَالُوا مَعْذِرَةً إِلَىٰ رَبِّكُمْ وَلَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ. The group which was silent, the silent group said to those Muballighin and Mu'allimin that لِمَ تَعِدُونَ? Why are you giving nasiyat and advice to those such people that will be destroyed because they're not listening to the hukm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Be quiet. They say in English, live and let. Live and let others live. Just mind your own business. This is the trend in it, the westernized style. Live and let live. Yeah? So that's what they were saying. Alright, we're not indulged in the sin, but let them do whatever they want to do. They want to die, they want to go to Jahannam, let them go to Jahannam. They say, قَالُوا مَعْذِرَةً إِلَىٰ رَبِّكُمْ وَلَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ. They said, قَالُوا مَعْذِرَةً إِلَىٰ رَبِّكُمْ. So on the day of judgment, we can show this excuse to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, مَعْذِرَةً إِلَىٰ رَبِّكُمْ وَلَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ. Maybe they might come pious by us keep on saying the advice, or repeating our advice, giving the tabligh, it might sink in the heart. It says, إِذَا تَكَرَّرَ الْكَلَامِ تَقَرَّرَ فِي الْقَلْبِ. If you keep on saying something, it will sink in the heart. If I say to you, read your salat, read your salat, or you tell me, fear from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fear from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fear from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one day that will sink in my heart. Same, when you do the dhikr of Allah subhanahu Allah, that will sink in your heart. The fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sink in your heart. So إِذَا تَكَرَّرَ الْكَلَامِ تَقَرَّرَ فِي الْقَلْبِ. That's what they say. So they say, وَلَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَلَمَّا نَسُوا مَا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ أَنْجَيْنَا الَّذِينَ يَنْهُونَ عَنِ السُّوءِ وَأَخَذْنَا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا بِعَذَابٍ بَئِيسٍ بِمَا كَانُوا يَفْسُقُونَ فَلَمَّا عَتَوْا عَنْهُ قُلْنَا لَهُمْ كُونُوا قِرَدَةً خَاسِئِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that this group of Muballighin kept on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, kept on giving tabligh and giving talim. But those groups did not leave their sin. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those who were doing the tabligh and forbidding them from doing sins, they got salvated. They salvated. They did not get destroyed. They didn't come out from the mu'azzabeen. They did not get persecuted. But those, Quran is indicating not clearly even those who said be silent, who were silent, who did not say anything, did not do any kind of sin, them too, and also those who were indulged in the sin and carried on, and فَلَمَّا أَتَوْا means they went over the limit in their sins. Yeah? You know, a sin is a sin. It's two types of people. Number one, committing sin and admitting this is a guna and a sin. That's just a sin. Sometimes people go over the limit, they say, I do it, I know it's a sin, I carry on, and does not count a sin as a sin. That is very dangerous, that can lead you to kufr. So Quran says, فَلَمَّا أَتَوْا, even though they were committing sins, but they were not admitting this is a sin. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, is it that كُونُوا كِرَدَةً خَاسِئِينَ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changed their faces, changed their features, changed their looks, and changed them to what? As a azab, as a persecution, to what? Khinzir, pigs, and also what? Monkeys. كُونُوا كِرَدَةً خَاسِئِينَ. Now, in this adab, it was not those who were doing the sin, not just them. Even those who were quiet, who did not say anything, did not do any tabligh, did not forbid them, did not encourage them to do good, did not forbid them from evil, they were in the persecution too, they got persecuted too. So my conclusion of my speech is over here. What I said, these few ayats, what I just explained is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in these ayats, the Bani Israel who were committing sin, they were sinful. Also, those people who did not forbid them from doing the sin, alright, they were sinful too. Only those people salvated that who gave tabligh and kept on teaching and preaching the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, what is the hukum for us? Now, Bani Israel, لُعِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا عَلَى لِسَانِ دَاوُودَ وَعِيسَى بْنِ مَرْيَمَ ذَلِكَ بِمَا عَصَوْا وَكَانُوا يَعْتَدُونَ كَانُوا لَا يَتَنَاهَوْنَ عَنْ مُنكَرٍ فَعَلُوهُ لَبِئْسَ مَا كَانُوا يَفْعَلُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that indicating this ayah, لُعِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cursed the kafirs, basically from Bani Israel, on whose tongue? Isa alayhi salatu wasalam and Dawud alayhi salatu wasalam tongue. Why? Because they were not doing Amar bil Ma'ruf Nahi Anil Munkar. Amar bil Ma'ruf Nahi Anil Munkar means encouraging others to do good, forbidding them from doing what? Bad. They stopped doing that. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cursed them. And who cursed them? Who said the dua? Who said the dua against them? Isa alayhi salatu wasalam and Dawud alayhi salatu wasalam. That is their duty. What is our duty? What is the duty of this ummah? What is the speciality of this ummah? So I'll briefly go through it. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت. This ummah is the best. Why is this ummah the best? تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر. Because this ummah duty is what? As an individual, as a Jumaat too. What we have to understand, this Amr bil Ma'ruf Nahi Anil Munkar is not the duty of a certain Jumaat, a certain Ta'ifa, a certain group of people that they have to do this tabligh, and the rest is not just the duty of the Imam, it's not just the duty of the Mawli Sahib, it's not just the duty of the Tablighi Jumaat, it's not just the duty of anyone who has the beard. It's not just the duty of every person who has a bit of more knowledge. It's the kuntum khayra ummati ukhrijat. This is the duty as the ummah, the nation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that do give amr bil ma'ruf nahi anil munkar. This is our duty. Every single verse. Quran says, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ طَائِفَةٌ وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in another verse, there should be a Jumaat, meaning that this ummah as an individual too, as a Jamaat, separate Jamaat doing this work too. Amr bil Maruf, Nahi anil Munkar. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that until you do Amr bil Maruf, wa tanhun, and do Nahi anil Munkar, if you do that, the persecution and the azab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be lifted. But if you leave the Amr bil Maruf, Nahi anil Munkar, la yushikanna Allah, the fear that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will set the azab on you, iqaban on you. What does azab mean? Now, the azab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to come in the same form as it came on the other previous nations and ummah. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُمْ وَأَنْتَ فِيهِمْ وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ مُعَذِّبَهُمْ وَهُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ وَمَا لَهُمْ أَلَّا يُعَذِّبَهُمُ اللَّهُ يَصُدُّونَ عَنِ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ وَمَا كَانُوا أَوْلِيَاءَهُ. In these ayat, in the first two ayat, that because of the barakat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a persecution that ruined the whole ummah, the whole nation will get destroyed, that's not going to come. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made this dua. You know, in Masjid Ijaba in Madinatul Munawwar, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made a dua. One, this own ummah does not get destroyed, and it does not get drowned, all of it. Another dua that they have unity. The unity dua was not accepted, but this dua was accepted, that as a whole ummah, just like Nuh alayhi salatu was salam ummah were whole destroyed, just the family of Nuh alayhi salatu was salam was there. Lut alayhi salatu was salam, the whole ummah was destroyed. Just a handful of people were saved from the adab which was set on the Qawmi Lut. Go on like that. That kind of adab and that kind of persecution will not come on its ummah because of the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For our ummah. But if we do not do Amr bil Ma'ruf, Nahi anil Munkar, I see something wrong. So what do I do? What is the teaching of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Man ra'a minkum munkaran falyughayyir biyadihi. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if you see wrongdoing, haram, sin, فَلْيُغَيِّرْ بِيَدِهِ, stop it with your hand. Go to the person and say, no brother, this is haram. I have control on my family, on my children, on my students. Can my students, my family, don't do it. This is haram. I have a close friend, yeah? Stop it, my brother. Yeah? And if I cannot do that, فَبِلِسَانِي, through my tongue, brothers, don't do this is haram. And if I cannot even do that, فَبِقَلْبِهِ means وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, in your heart think that this is wrong. The person, don't just ignore it. You know, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala says, in the previous that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that people were doing wrong. So a group of people said to them, pious people, don't do this, is haram. One day, few days they said this. The next day they start joining them. They join them in the same sins. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed them all. So we're not supposed to be that. We see wrong, we encourage others not to do that wrong. Now you know, last thing I want to say, يَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Amara ya'muru means hukum, ordering. That's not but remember, ordering does not mean that this literally does not mean that you order as a king, as a person who is in power. Anzilun nasa manazilum, a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that give everyone their level. Treat everyone according to their level. Amara ya'muru means that encourage them to do good things and encourage them not to do evil things. Now for instance, I'll give you an example. If I see any of my young children, alright, doing something wrong, If I want to call any of my young children for food, for dinner, for lunch, I say, so come down here. Come on. So I'm all encouraging them, ordering them. But if I want to call anyone older than me, anyone more respectful from me, my parents, my elders, anyone, I will not just call, I won't call them, I will go by them and say, the food is ready, may you come. So there's a hukum. I'm doing amr, but the way I'm doing is different. Same over here, Quran is indicated your amr bil ma'roof and nahy anil munkar be according to their status, according to their level. You have to look at the situation. When do I do tabligh? When do I encourage others to do good? So if I see someone wrong over here, I say, you, that is wrong. The way to do tabligh is the word has to be haqq. It has to be with sincerity. And the way I do it, that has to be right. You do tabligh, you do amal bil ma'roof nahy anil munkar, put someone on the side and say, brother, you done this wrong, do this right. How did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam Sahaba do it? You know, you read the hadith, alright? The Sahabas taught the people how to do wudu. Like Usman ibn Affan radiallahu ta'ala anhu, you read hadith. Why did they do it? They seen people doing wudu wrong. So instead of telling them that your wudu is wrong, like, you know, we learn two masajid. This is haram, you take the gun out, haram. Yeah? And you are Jahannami. Yeah? No. Usman ibn Affan radiallahu ta'ala anhu, what he done? He sat down and said, come together, I'll show you how to do wudu. He taught them how to do wudu. And this is amr bil ma'roof nahy anil munkar. Teach them how to do wudu. Yeah? See someone doing wrong salat, teach them how to do right salat. Yeah? This is how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam the Sahabas taught. Look at the situation. Give me one more example. And before I end this, I always say this, I've said this so many times, alright? That once a Bedouin came to the Masjid of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the masajid were not like this. They were not solid sound. He came and he stood outside and urinated everywhere. The Sahabas were sitting in the majlis of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and when they seen this, they got up and started telling him off. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to the Sahabas, sit down. Let him finish now. Don't say anything to him. He's urinating, weeing in the masjid. Imagine someone in the corner comes over there, urinating over there. I think you all will slap the guy, kill the guy. By the time he's out, his body will come out. He's urinating in the corner. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, let the guy finish. The guy finishes. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam called the Bedouin and said to him, these are masajid. This is a portion of masjid. In the masajid, you're not supposed to scream. You're not supposed to shout. You're not supposed to make you filthy. You're not supposed to make you dirty. So respect the masajid. And what did that Sahabi say? I've never seen a teacher like Rasulullah. This is how Rasulullah taught. So, if you see anyone wrong, for instance, it's summer holidays, you see the youngsters coming. Majority, some of them have not come to the masjid in their life. They'll come just like that with, the knees should be covered, they'll come in the shorts. Alright? Because they, astaghfirullah, this is haram. They might come with the earrings all without the topi, all without any hats on. Don't start staring at them. If you know the kid and explain to them later on that as a Muslim, this is how we're not supposed to be dressed. With love, with respect. Teach them slowly with love. But the way we are doing, anyone new comes, you start looking at them like, a kafir has entered the masjid. Even a kafir is allowed to enter. Respect. So what I'm saying, in my conclusion, I was going to say more things, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that this ummah duty as an individual and as a group is alright to do amr bil ma'roof nahy anil munkar. Encourage others to do good, forbid them from evil. But this has to be done with sincerity, in a nice way. Look at the situation when you do amr bil ma'roof nahy anil munkar. If someone is doing something wrong, alright, you look, analyze the situation. If a person is not doing salat at all, suddenly he comes to salat and he's not dressed 100%, let him start doing his salat. And when you see them, he's got used to be said, then do the tabligh that this dressing is not right, and you should be dressed with more moderate and with haya. And this is how with modesty. So this is how the teaching should be. So inshallah, every one of us should be a muballigh. And the tabligh really starts from ourselves. And the tabligh should, our tabligh as a muallim, tabligh is not just talking. There should be more action than talk. We talk more, we put our fingers to others, this is wrong, he's wrong, no. Let's see what I'm doing myself. How much ghibat am I doing? How much buhtan am I doing? How many sins am I doing? I should not point to everyone. Maybe there's other good thing in that person. This is what we have to learn. Amar bil ma'ruf nahy anil munkar is every one of us our duty. Everyone should do that. Make sure they start وَأَنذِرْ عَشِيرَتَكَ الْأَقْرَبِينَ. Amar bil ma'ruf nahy anil munkar first starts from the house. First to the house, then out. So make sure we do Amar bil ma'ruf nahy anil munkar in the house. And when we do
الله لا